Alright, let's get into it. So today we're gonna make a perfect New York strip steak. And yes, I said perfect. We're gonna start by patting dry our steak, making sure there is no excess moisture. This is what's gonna allow your steak to fully get that nice browned Maillard effect so that you can have just the perfect crust on your steak. So once you pat it down dry, you're going to want to take salt, and only salt. We're using a coarse pink Himalayan salt right here, but any coarse, kosher salt or anything like that, that's exactly what you want to use. And be generous with the salt, hit it on both sides, but do not put pepper yet. The pepper will burn if you put it at this point, so we're not putting it yet. So once this is all nice and coated up and seasoned up with the salt, you're going to want to stick this in the fridge for an hour. During this time, you're also going to be preheating your cast iron in the oven at 500 degrees. So what's better than some steak and potatoes? I'm just going to make a mashed potato here. This is a super simple recipe. There is really nothing to it. You're just going to peel up your potatoes as you normally would, and as well as cutting it up and dicing it up, just because this is what's going to allow it to cook as fast as possible. This is a really fast-paced dish because steak cooks in no time. It takes longer to preheat the oven than it does to cook the steak. So make sure to salt your water, of course, and just put in your potatoes. Next step is salting up the cast iron. I do this before every time I cook, even though I do season my cast iron when I first got it, but I still do it anyway. So you're going to want to make sure that steak is really stuck to the pan. Then after about 3 minutes, you're going to want to flip it to the other side and make sure it's right on there. Then you're going to want to move it around so that it can get that salty goodness. I'm going to start with putting in some butter, and we're going to baste the steak. So basting is just a technique that allows for more flavors and a lot more juiciness and tenderness to come through with the steak. So you're just going to get a spoon or ladle, whatever it is you're using, and you're going to want to incorporate the butter into the steak so that it can keep cooking while cooking in the butter. I added in some smashed garlic pieces, and again, just continuing to baste the steak. Now, once the steak is cooked, I'm doing a medium cut. You're going to want to put this to rest on garlic butter. I will leave the recipe below for the garlic butter, and I'm going to also be using that same garlic butter for the mashed potatoes, as well as some cream, and then freshly cracked black pepper. Then you're going to mash this up. This is a super simple recipe. You can make it as lumpy or as smooth as you'd like. It's just mashed potatoes. So once the steak has been resting for at least 10 minutes, and have patience, the resting is the most important part so it can retain its juiciness, you're going to want to take a knife and you're going to cut up that steak, and then it's pretty much good to go. You're going to add in your pepper right now, as well as a little bit more salt if you'd like, and enjoy.